Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Big Fitness Podcast. I'm here with William Swofford. Dude, thank you for coming on the show, my man.
Glad to be here.
We met over at Dope, Matt Vincent's place. We were watching Sam whoop some ass with one leg, which was dope.
That was pretty crazy.
But in any case, man, thank you for being on the show. So you own your co-own CrossFit Ready to Live. You are an owner of a coffee company, Postal Coffee Company. I think you said you've been doing that for about 7 years ish.
Yeah, 7 years. Hobby business kind of turned into a little bit more than that, so it's kind of fun. So
That's dope, dude. That's dope. You were just off the podcast telling me a little bit about the story of how you got into that. I want to go into that again because I'm like, damn, dude, you were just chopping through the jungle. And like your day trade is cybersecurity.
Yeah.
So, dude, let's go with, first of all, what is CrossFit Ready to Live?
Yeah, CrossFit Ready to Live. Yeah, gym. It's been around in St. Louis for a little bit. Had previous owners, me and my business partner Pete, been going to that gym for a while. Came up that was up for new ownership. Me and Pete just kind of decided, hey, you want to buy it? Like, yeah, I'll buy it with you. I'll go with you. And so last January of 2023, I guess that was last year, huh? That's crazy to think about.
Kind of wild.
I know, yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun, brother.
Oh yeah, definitely. We bought that and kind of just took off with it as our passion. You know, it was just we loved that community, loved the gym it was, and just wanted to see it grow, keep growing from the previous owners. They've built a good base, good community, and it kind of crazy how it just took off like that. Kind of grew, more people came in, you know, and then. Yeah, it's kind of our safe haven, kind of our passion project. We'll never let it go. I'd never let it go under as long as we can. That's that kind of thing.
Dude, that's kind of wild that you were a freaking member of that gym.
Yeah.
That just came and you were so like strongly connected that you were like, yo, I'm about to invest up in this motherfucker.
Yeah, me and Pete were kind of talking. We joked about it whenever the previous owner was saying it was going to be up for sale. We just thought, like, we don't want anybody else to own it. Like, really, we didn't want it to change, really, like not change the community of it. We're like, we don't want somebody else to come in. So we're like, yeah, let's just buy it. And then we jokingly did, and we're like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I was dead serious. He's like, all right. So we did, and really took off from there. We've been on a journey ever since, never looking back. You know, couldn't ask for a better business partner. We just kind of see everything. We almost don't even have to talk, and we'll get shit done and just kind of go from there.
That's fucking amazing. Did you know him before?
So before I went to the gym, no. I'd actually, before we bought the gym, I maybe met Pete or knew Pete for like 4 or 5 months. And then I've been going to the gym for maybe a year. We both have similar stories of it, just like the gym kind of saved us in a way. You know, it's like saved our mental health, even physical health, you know, just getting back in that community. And then we kind of just grew there. We were always beating each other up in the workouts for sure. Like he's a fucking animal when it comes to anything gymnastics, just motor, everything. He's a huge soccer player, so he just we just kind of beat each other up back and forth. And then I decided to buy it and just kind of went from there. So
yeah, dude, you can tell a lot about somebody. You can tell a lot about somebody based on how they work out.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you could be like, I can go into business with this motherfucker.
Yeah, that about how it was. It's like we both push each other, and I can't remember what the workout was. I think it was a run, come back deadlift, run, come back deadlift, and then run some pull-ups. And we were just right neck and neck, pushing each other with the run, coming back and forth. And it was like, after that, we were just dying on the floor. And I was like, I like this guy. He's pretty cool. Like, didn't even know his name at that point. But it was like, you know, it's like, that was kind of where it started. Yeah.
That is funny, man, because it really is a tell, man. Because when you get into it, like, because working out is a weird thing. You come in here, you just like fucking, you're like hurting yourself for the better, you know. Exactly. But it's like you push yourself to the point where it's like, all right, it's either I quit right now or I see if I can make it through. And that's the tell. It's like in a person, it's like, do you back away from challenge or do you push into it? And how do you deal with it are you saying, let's fucking go? Are you the one yelling excited about it? Or are you the one just complaining, when are we done? You're doing another fucking set. You kidding me? It's kind of crazy.
It is. It's kind of crazy. That's kind of what I've always been like drawn to, and like drawn to those kind of communities for, like, you know, military, you know, sports in college, those kind of things. It's, I don't know, maybe I should rethink why I ever did those things. Maybe it is for that kind of community, that kind of you know, finding those kind of people maybe is what I've always been drawn to. I don't know.
Dude, I mean, well, you found the right group of people, of two of those people that were inside of that that community. We're like, yo, we can't let this die. Like this is gonna be. That's really what these places are. How did fitness change your life? You said it kind of changed your life. So like, what? How did that happen?
Yeah. So I mean, fitness has always been a pretty big part of my life. Played sports in high school, and then played football and baseball in college, and then I guess probably after that, didn't really. After college, I didn't really know what do I do now? What do I work out for? So I decided to join the military. That's what I work out for. Keep going there, and then a similar thing happened. Got out, had an injury with my knee, and then kind of was going through some other things with like relationship stuff, that kind of thing, and didn't really know like what am I working out for? What am I going to? And so started going to a CrossFit gym. Like figuring out what I wanted to do. I was like, what is this? Somebody invited me, and I was like, all right, I'll go. And found out, oh, this is kind of fun. You push yourself. Felt like that camaraderie, like the military kind of a thing. But then didn't realize it was a community. Like it was, something I almost call it like the new age church kind of a thing. Like it was just like, oh, this community, they care about me. They also care about themselves. They also like want to do stuff in the community. They also like really go get it. Like most everybody that goes, like that pushes themselves in the gym can push themselves at their job, or they're pretty competent at their job, or doing that kind of thing, or want to get better. Always wanting to get better. And I think that's what just drew me to this community. And I've always wanted to do that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, dude, the utility of exercise and working out, fitness in general, and how much it helps you in your career outside of the gym and like life outside of the gym. It's kind of insane. I just had a guy on the podcast, fucking Josh Hildebrandt. This guy, met him as well.
met him as well. Yeah.
Yeah, at the same place. And
we can talk about him later if we want.
Right. Yeah, he had a great bit. He had a great bit on just down regulating, and like fitness and health has helped him down regulate. He was a military guy as well, so maybe we'll dive into that. But basically, like he was in the invasion of Iraq. He did a lot of like crazy stuff, kind of that like came into civilian life afterwards. That caused like him to be on edge, like always like high sympathetic nervous system. For those of you who don't know that, it's basically you're just like fucking shoulder buried in your fucking everything's just kind of looking around. Where is it at? Like what's gonna happen?
Understand that.
And he's like fitness and health and all this stuff, down regulating, bringing that like, all right, we can still be in a high stakes situation. But we can be in it in like a sound mind. And I think with fitness, utilization of like fitness, and his particularly cold exposure, but in any case, like for you, is that something that's similar? Like what was your military experience like?
Some military experience, did a lot of training. I flew in helicopters most of my time in the military. So, there was a lot of high stress situations, like just like Josh probably mentioned, things like, things happen, emergency situations, you're, possibly crashing, you have to solve problems in the air while you're, 10,000 feet above, that kind of thing. I think the best way to describe it is like on mission, or like any kind of on target, that kind of thing. That's all you're thinking about. Like you're totally focused. Like everything else that was going on that day, as soon as you lift off the ground for us, like, all right, we're on mission, we're flying. I have to be totally focused with everything. Could have been relationship stuff, bad, like I'm losing money, whatever it could be, whatever it was in the past, like was happening that day or before or that week, gone, I'm on mission, I can focus. And that high level of focus it takes over everything. It takes over your whole body, your whole nervous system. You're just focused, and it's kind of intoxicating. It's actually a blast. Like it's where like when people say like they miss it, like that's a lot of what they miss is like you're on mission with the boys or with the girls, like air crewmen, stuff like that. And it's like you're all on the same page, you're all on the same mission, you're all doing it, and you miss that immediately. As soon as you get out, as soon as you start having to go back to civilian life, you like kind of. Nobody thinks like that anymore. Like you're doing your job and you're like, all right, let's do it. And like nobody thinks like that. And so it's trying to, what do I do with this? Want to be focused, totally focused, and do something like that and forget about everything else. So you try to put it in all these other things. A lot of people put it in like their relationships, like just like art. And that's sometimes that happens, or they are, I'm just going to go drink, these kind of things. But like fitness was that outlet. Like, oh, I can, for a 30-minute workout, and especially in CrossFit, I can be totally focused. Or like with Josh stuff, like it was like breath exposure, like get in the ice bath. Oh, I have to focus on this. There's nothing else. And so it helped. It's therapy for a lot of folks. You know, it gets you into that game again of kind of being that and like, all right, now I can do that. Now I can go back and do something in my civilian life and be okay because I know that's coming. I know I'm going to be focused again, if that makes sense. But
No, that's so interesting, man. I think it's probably what we all kind of seek out, but we don't really find. It's maybe something that's rare nowadays, but the power of community is like you can't, and strong community and team. I just saw something. This guy, he was a Navy SEAL, and he's gonna be famous now at this point. He's got the crazy hair, and he's like always saying crazy shit online. He did like the One More Mile documentary.
Yep, I know
you know,
what you're talking about.
you know that guy. What was his name?
I don't remember his name.
Man, I feel bad. I feel bad not knowing his name. Anyways, it's One More Mile. It's a good documentary. But this guy is like this crazy dude. He's on all these podcasts saying shit, and he has this. But he's right. He's right about this shit. He's right about the shit he's saying. He said, if you care about your teammates, like more than you care, like the safety, the well-being, the XYZ, if you care about your teammates more than you care about yourself, and your teammates care about you more than they care about their self, and everyone's in this like connected revolving circle of like real teamwork, you are an unstoppable team.
Can't lose.
You cannot lose with that. He's like, you have to kill them.
Yeah.
That is the only way you will beat them. Mm-hmm. And I worked for a team. I wasn't on in the military, but I worked for a personal training team firm up in Chicago, and it was like those guys, and they're crushing still. Like they're still crushing. They're never going to stop crushing. These guys are going to do it because it was insane. Shout out guys from my exercise science up in Chicago. Those guys are dope. Any case, like their team, they go fucking hard for each other. It's unbelievable. The energy is amazing. It's like they're having a bad day. They have shit going on, dude. They see that their teammate needs help. They're going to help. They're not leaving early. They're not leaving early.
Yeah.
They will not. They want to leave early. Probably they got wives and kids. They got everything everyone else got. But they're there for the team, and that team is amazing. And being around them, you just see everyone's helping everyone do everything, and it's like, whoa. And I mean, people have their differences. It's not like everybody is like fucking, it's not sunshine and rainbows all the time, especially with the hard work. But it's fucking remarkable. And every time I see it, I've just got to tell JP, the owner, I gotta be like, man, fuck.
Yeah.
This is killer. You have really done something amazing here. In the civilian world, I don't know, where do you, outside of like the fitness gyms and stuff, like where do you find that? Are there teams out there? Maybe in the workplace? I don't know.
I think there's probably places out there. I mean, I've seen it in like sales teams, and like, you know, if you have those close, like you said, those close groups, could be anything really. I've seen it most in the fitness industry or the fitness community the most, just because you're doing something hard together and you have to grind through it and do that, and you kind of, that sense of, you know, commitment and sacrifice, I guess you could say, is the closest thing to it. But
dude, that's so interesting. I just had this thought, dude. I'm pretty sure that Jeff Bezos and Amazon, they go hard with military. They like pretty much. I wonder what the percentage of Amazon employees are of military.
It'd be interesting to see,
because I think he goes hard with bringing military on, which is probably a good idea because you got already mind is already set that
there.
way.
It's. I mean, I'll say the company I work for is like a lot of military. And it's similar things. Like you can find those on certain teams. Certain teams I've worked on in software there. It's funny you mentioned like Amazon. Amazon's one of the best, like, you know, software engineering development teams out there. You know, I don't know if you knew about Amazon, but it's released every like 15 seconds, like a new updated development of Amazon, because of the way they think like that, because they're not afraid to fail. Like, all right, that didn't work. All right, do it again. And the team just has that mindset like that. You know, it's similar to, you know, fitness team or even military team. Like you're constantly changing, adapting to whatever's coming next. You're not like afraid to make a move and it not be the right one. You're like, I'm just going to make this move. Wasn't right. Oh, well, back step, go this way. You know, that kind of thing. It's kind of funny you mention that, because it does kind of align in.
Dude, it for sure does, man. I mean, it's like, fuck. Imagine if you had like because just think about it, like CrossFit, for example. I've always been so impressed with like the CrossFit community, because they're like, dude, they're like CrossFit or die. Like CrossFit or bust, dude.
definitely, yeah.
Like, dude, I know a guy that he was in a CrossFit gym in Bloomington, Illinois, and his job moved like 45 minutes away, and that motherfucker still makes
goes.
it 30, 45 minutes a drive, like there and back 3 times a week to work out with that group.
Oh yeah.
You know, like, so I mean, look, whoa.
It's out there. We have some members like that come from like Eureka or St. Charles. They'll make the drive because they like being with their community. It is interesting. I'll say I've traveled around the world and dropped into CrossFit gym. I love dropping into CrossFit gyms. Like it's probably one of my favorite things ever. Like going to like Portugal or Spain or South America, Germany, and just dropping into a gym and seeing their community like that. It's everywhere, but it's like that's your community, and it's cool to be a part of it. But I'm like, every time I go, I'm like, I want to come back and tell my community about it. That's that kind of thing.
What's some of the stuff like that you've seen as you've done that have kind of impressed you that you kind of want to adopt, or maybe?
Oh gosh, so much stuff. Probably one of the coolest ones was in Portugal. There's a CrossFit called The Bakery. Like it was the Bakery CrossFit. And I actually thought it wasn't real whenever I was looking it up. And got there like early at 5 a.m. morning. Great trainer. The guy was awesome. Let me in. It was an old bakery. This place used to be an old bakery. They built it into a CrossFit gym. Still had all the old bread stuff in there. Super small box. Had a bake shop in front. And it's just tight knit community. I guess it was just like in the middle of the city. It didn't take away from anything in the city. You wouldn't even notice really that it was a CrossFit gym, except that it was in the back. And probably just what they did was just how intertwined they made it with like, all right, this is where we're gonna have the box, but we're not gonna change anything around here that's not gonna be too much different. They just intertwined it, and everybody just loves it. It's like everybody comes, they stay after the coffee shop. That's definitely something I want to bring into our gym for sure. Is that coffee shop? I'm a coffee guy, but having that in there. But yeah, just how tight knit that was. It didn't affect the community. It actually just built it around. They built the CrossFit gym within the community that was already there.
Damn, dude.
It was cool.
What's so I know a little bit about CrossFit, but
Yeah.
but like now I've had a bunch of people on the podcast like say all sorts of weird stuff about CrossFit that I didn't know. I like live and breathe fitness for like the last like as soon as I knew I was alive.
Yeah.
And I don't know too much about CrossFit. So I wonder what people think about CrossFit that don't do fitness at all. What is something about CrossFit, just out of my own curiosity,
Yeah.
that like most people don't know and they should?
Yeah, I'd say a lot of people when they hear CrossFit or see CrossFit, it's the crazy movements that they see on like TV, or like that's like, oh, these guys are crazy. Like I would say they see the extremes of they see the extreme of CrossFit on one side, say those games athletes and those kind of things. And doing a muscle up, they see that, doing on the ring rows, that kind of stuff. But people I don't think understand is like it's super functional. Like every movement, like if you narrow down the movement to what's doing, it's very functional. Like a power clean and press is, you're not going to ever lift that much weight in probably that method, but lifting a couch and like shifting something over, or like putting something into your cabinet space, or like going down steps. All those functional movements actually translate. And I tried saying like, that's just, before I started like really getting into it more, I was like, that's just what people say or whatever. I'm like, oh, like if you think about going down steps and like putting your weight back on your heels and like using your big muscles instead of using your knees, you're like, oh man, that's better, and coaching it probably made me even more aligned with that. Like I was helping my mom out, and like some other people, people that had trouble going down steps are like, oh, I can go down steps now. I didn't even like think about that. And it's like, oh, that's really cool. So I think that's what people don't realize. And like CrossFit's all on this like fitness continuum of like, like if you had like a half circle of like being sick and like healthy and fit, like you're trying to push everybody to that really fit side, not because we want to be like look good or like those kind of things. Those are all byproducts really, or lose weight, those kind of things. It's more for, we're always going to get sick. We're always going to have an injury. Like, but if we're in this stage over here, like it's going to be harder to get back out of that, harder to get better. Like a lot of times, like when you stop moving, that's when it kind of ends. Like runners and all those kind of things. When you stop running, it's when it's harder to get back into running, I think. But
yeah, it is definitely a lot more difficult to get back once you stop doing it on a daily basis.
Yep.
But like we were talking about this before, man. Just you got to get out there and move your body every day. You got to bust your ass every day. It's insane to me, like dude, 3 out of 4 Americans are not getting at least 30 minutes of activity per day, which is the minimum. And with that being said, that's getting your heart rate up to 55% of your heart rate max,
Yep.
which is equivalent to doing a brisk walk for 30 minutes a day.
Yeah, right.
And like we're getting like one of 3 is doing that.
Yeah.
That I can't imagine not working out every day, not because of my full-fledged addiction, but
We can talk about that too.
Right.
I'm just addicted to that.
Right. But like, dude, my body feels so much better after a workout. My mind, like if I start the day and like just let's say Deb, okay, whoever Deb is for you at the front desk says like, you're a bitch, this morning. And it just fucking grinds my gears. Like, fucking Deb, why do you fucking think you can say that to me, Deb? And then like like fucking grinding my gears. I'm thinking about it. I can't get off my mind. It's really like making its way into all of my shit. I get my workout in, man, that's gone. Oh, yeah. That's fucking gone. I'm like back to it. Like that didn't even remember.
Yeah.
But if I didn't work out, Deb would have been in my mind all fucking day. So exactly. I can't imagine where people are who aren't exercising every day, not just physically. Mentally.
Oh yeah, the mental side is probably. I'd say I'd almost put the mental side first. It's like when cause we have people come in talking about CrossFit or talking about the gym. We have people come in and they'll like, hey, I want to lose this weight, or like I want to like look good for this trip I'm going on, or I want to do this, and it's like, all right, start coming for 3 weeks to a month, like, and tell us how you feel every day. Do you feel better that day? Like you're gonna feel better, just like mentally, those kind of things better. And like we'll see the byproduct later. Like that, and most often they do lose weight. They do these things. They get stronger. But that mental side, like send Bev, like if whoever that is, like if you worked out before you even saw her that day, and they said that and like made you mad, you probably, oh, okay, what's wrong, Bev? Are you that'd probably be your response instead of coming to that because you're like, oh, I just worked out. Like you just feel better. You feel like you can take on things. You're clear, like you said. It's just I can tell the days when I don't get up or I don't work out before I go into work and get on my laptop, start doing software engineering stuff, get into meetings. I'm just like, gosh, I hate this. Like, why are they saying this? But if I worked out that day and I get on, I'm like, we can solve that problem like this, or you just collaborate better. It's amazing. But
why do you think that like running your body through the ringer like that, like working out and really getting into the exercise, why do you think that does that? I mean, it's interesting, right?
Yeah, and there's probably a lot of science behind it too, like all the endorphins, whatever are being released, that kind of stuff. I think it just like you said, you've been focused on something, you cleared your mind, like whatever was on your mind that previous day, or like you had to refresh your thought. Like for me at least, it's like, all right, I was only focused on, say, like this morning we had it was a 1 mile run and then 150 calories on the bike for the workout. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but you're pushing yourself with somebody else, seeing somebody else push yourself, so you're pushing harder, focusing on that. Like when you get on the 150 calories on that bike, it's like, this is torture. This is going to take a while, and you just have to. You want to quit. People think that like just because you work out, you don't ever want to quit. Everybody wants to quit. Like you want to stop. It hurts, but you push through it. You grinded, so you accomplished something that day. I think that's one of the big things. It's like, all right, I accomplished that. Like, what's next? You're like, all right, this is easy. This wasn't that bad. Like going into a meeting and talking to someone, like, oh, it wasn't as bad as being the 150 calories on the bike. Like those are some things that I think about sometimes, maybe, but I don't know. What do you think? I don't know.
Oh, dude, man, I think the same. I think the same thing. A lot of it is like just being able to do fucking hard things, man. Like it makes all the other shit easier. I want to kind of know a little bit about like, because I know you did some ultra running in your time, but like I'm a ultra endurance athlete. I try to do crazy stuff. I'm training right now for a 130 mile run in under 24 hours.
Love it.
So I'm going hard right now. Last week was 80 miles. This week will be 85 miles with a 40 mile run on the weekend. So that'll be good fun. I'm going to just do it on a track. That way I have all my shit right there. I'm just going to do 40 miles.
Get some food in, get some keep going. Yeah.
That way I can just, I just don't want, I kind of just don't want to think about the logistics around it, and just knock it out. But like, that's going to take 40 miles is going to take me like 6.5, 7 hours. And in any case, it's like, just what that does. Like, you might think that's insane. Like, somebody might think that's insane, and they're right about that.
100%. They're
There's
right.
something wrong with me. They're right about that.
You're not wrong in those two aspects.
Yeah. But the idea, man, is that, dude, like, pushing yourself through that kind of hard shit, that really unbelievably difficult stuff, or even just any fucking difficult thing on a daily basis, makes all the other shit that you're dealing with easy as shit. Like, Deb doesn't even cross your mind. That's the I just did 130 miles in 24 hours, Deb. You fucking think that I give a shit about what you say to me? Like, I have the endurance to run nonstop for 24 hours. I'm definitely not done at noon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it makes the whole day seem like minuscule and small and easy to take on. Whereas if you're not working out, not doing anything hard, then that's your hard. Your daily living is the hard thing.
That becomes your hardest aspect of your life. Yeah.
That becomes the hardest aspect. And so why do that? Like, you can enjoy your day so much more because, man, I just did a 12-mile run. So I'm going to work for 8 hours with no problem at all because I sit at a desk. You know what I mean? Like, I'll do 12 and get off and do a fucking whatever. Or do my CrossFit workout, which is fucking hard. This motherfucking crazy lunatics over there doing all this shit. Which I love. I love that shit, you know? Yeah. But, like, doing hard, that's what it is. And it's like when people say shit to me, like, they'll be like, dude, I just don't really I'm just don't really enjoy doing it. And I'm like, there's sometimes that's why you're so fucked. Because you think everything you got to do has to be enjoyable. Yeah. And by the way, that's what our market, that's why everyone's so fucking confused about fitness, because fitness is selling by trying to figure out how to keep you distracted and enjoy it when fitness in and of itself
is not meant to be
enjoyed.
Like, that's a funny thing of the business model of that. Like, we're trying to get people to do something they don't enjoy, but also enjoy it.
You gotta hate to love it, love to hate it.
Yeah, it's you're right, totally right on like the doing hard things. Like, it's almost probably what I've probably been chasing after my whole life and that kind of thing. It always feels good, like you said, the ultras. You know, I remember my 100-miler that I did. Like, it was just like, it was torturous. You know, it was 30.
So you did 100?
I did 100. I did the grindstone 100.
Okay,
it was actually like 101 point whatever miles. Yeah, funny starting out with that. I didn't like. I signed up for it. Just this was so after I did some training in the Navy. Didn't quite make it. You know, going through like the BUDS program, which was another aspect of itself. It was awesome. Loved it. You know, didn't make it, but trying to figure out what to do with so I just signed up. I was like, I'll sign up for 100. Why not? You know, it's a buddy of mine who was a big runner. He actually got me into running when I was like out of college. Like, he was like, I'm signing up for this one. You should sign up. I was like, all right, I'll sign up with you. Sure. He ended up having a baby and wasn't able to go. So I literally just went to this race like by my trained pretty good for it, you know. Did a lot of training, got there. I had no clue what the grindstone 100 was. You know, just got there. They did the whole pre-race, you know, dinner that before we set out, and they're like, all right, who's done this from like 6 times before, 5 times, whatever. Everybody's raising their, whose is their first time, and like nobody raised their hand except for me. And I'm like, oh, you're a crazy guy. Like, apparently the grindstone 100 is like one of the hardest races. It was like, you know, 25,000 feet of elevation gain and loss throughout the entire race. You know, just like going through the old Appalachian Trail.
God damn.
Kicked my ass.
How long did it take you?
Took me 35 and a half hours.
Yeah, dude. Woo.
And I'd shout out to my buddy Brown. My buddy Brown kind of like teamed me up. He was just coming around he's heating up my burritos on his like an engine block before I could get that. But I got to the 50 mile mark in a turnaround point. It was like coming out of Lollipop, coming around the mountain and turning around. I got in the car and I was just like wet. It was raining. Like, it was just miserable as I could be, cold. Put on my new shoes and all this kind of stuff. Warm in the car, you know. It's felt good, you know. I was feeling good, and he like gave me some coffee, and I was like, oh man, I don't know. And he's like, shut the fuck up. And he gave me some like ibuprofen, some caffeine pills, and he's like, get out of my fucking car. I'm like, all right. Kept going. Yeah. Before I knew it, I got to like 75 miles, and I was like, all right, fucking do it. And then stuff started. I'm like, I don't even care. I'm gonna finish this no matter what. Like, you know, you get to that point, you're just like,
totally
finish it. But yeah, it's like, even looking back on it, I'm like, man, how did I finish that?
Yeah, how did you? Like, think about it.
Yeah, it's like I remember getting to mile 50, kind of blacked out to mile 75, you know. I then got to 80, and I'm like, oh, this is less than a marathon. Like, just keep going. I remember there was one patch of the woods. My buddy Brown ran my last like 10 miles with me, and I was like, I thought we just kept passing the same fucking tree, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I was gonna say, did you hallucinate at all?
I wouldn't say I hallucinated, but I got really pissed off, and I don't really get pissed off.
Yeah.
It was just like, I was like, are we fucking there yet? Like, golly, I feel like I've been going forever.
Dude, you were going forever, dude.
Yeah,
You were doing that.
Dude, it got done passing that finish line. You're just like, wow, they could give you like your buckle. Like you could care less about the stuff they give you, but you're just like, oh, I did it. Like, you know, and out of that, there was like 275 people that were in that race that day. And like, there was only, it like rained really bad, got cold. A lot of people quit at the turnaround. There was only like 40 of us that finished it. And I was just like, oh, that's cool. You know?
What do you think like the main takeaway from that experience was?
That's tough. You know, I guess like it's hard to say like what a takeaway is from that. Like I know I took away so much. I guess just like like you can say perseverance, all the easy ones. Yeah.
I think perseverance is good.
It's a good one. It's a good one. I think
it seems a bit cliche, like you're saying, but dude, there's power in the cliche. Like the thing is that perseverance is what people don't have. People can plan, but it's very rare to see somebody stick to the plan to finish through.
That's probably what the plan like that. There wasn't really a plan. It was for me, and like just the way I kind of was, and I still am. It's like I'm finishing this no matter what. Like there was never a anyway. I guess even when I had that little thought, I had somebody on my team that was like, "Hey, fuck you, get out of my car." Like keep going. You have a plan for the race. Like you can kind of plan for those kind of races. You can't really plan. Like I was like, all right, I'm gonna get mile here, and went out the window. When it started raining, all that kind of stuff, and you're just like, all right, I'm just finishing it. Like you just keep going, I guess just keep going. Like I guess probably that's the best thing I could take away from it is, you get beat down all the time. Like who cares? Like I think that's probably what like the military career and that kind of the rest of my life, kind of doing hard shit, doing stuff like that. Like when you meet your Bev's gonna hate us. Well, I don't know who Bev's is, but she's gonna hate us.
Dude, this is not good PR for Bev.
Yeah. Well, you meet your Bevs or your whatever in the worlds, and it's just like like you can't do anything to me.
Yeah.
Like I think that's probably what I take away from that kind of stuff. It's like I hurt myself way more than you could ever even think about hurting me. So like, take it out on me, do whatever, but then let's move on. Like keep going. It's like
you're so calloused from pushing yourself through a thing or I think I'm just thinking back to like I did a full Ironman
awesome,
in Italy last year. So it was like trained for it, and then I did it in a different country. So it was like two.
That's really cool.
Kind of two levels.
Something I want to do.
You got to do it. It is the Ironman is like one of the funnest races I've ever done because like the support at those races and the people that show up, like, dude, we did all those. There's people, all of those miles. There's people just shouting. Cool. I mean, none of them were speaking English, but it was awesome. It was awesome to see the people show up for their athlete, and the people just show. And it's just it's an incredible energy, and it's just an incredible race, and it's an incredible feat of human endurance. Oh, gosh, It's over 3 different. That's the thing that's different from like running 100 miles. Because last year
3 different modalities, so you just gotta
right
all those.
And I've never trained in swimming at all. Like I hadn't swam, dude. I swam for about 10 months. I did about 10 months of swimming before I went to the Ironman and did this. And I think I did all right in the swim. I done plenty of biking and plenty of running, but the swim, that was like the modality, that was the skill that I didn't have up front. So, dude, the first swim, I got in there, no goggles, no head, nothing. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
On the Ironman, you did that?
No. Just on the first swim. Okay. On the first swim.
I was like, man, you're bold.
I get done, dude. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this many yards of swimming, and we'll see, dude. One, I can't make it 25 yards without being dead.
Oh god,
because I'm just fucking flopping around. Yeah. My eyes. By the time I'm done, I did about 30 minutes. I get out, I'm fucking dead tired, just completely wrecked. Nowhere near 2 miles, and I'm fucking. I'm dealing with like the lifeguards are there, and I'm just thinking the whole time, like I'm used to being in the gym. Like this wasn't even a year ago. So like So like, well, I guess now it's about a year ago. But in any case, like it's like I am having all sorts of being self-conscious, like, oh, they're probably, talking shit. Like, look at that freaking idiot. And the whole time I'm in there, that's happening. And I was, and I get out, my eyes burned for the rest of the day and the day after.
Chlorine or whatever it was. Yeah.
And then I was like, dude, I was so discouraged. I was like, this is going to be fucking impossible. There's no way I'm gonna, because the swim was in the ocean. Any case, long story short, dude, I was like, what do I tell all my clients? Like after that, what do I tell all my clients? I say, like, look, it's like, first of all, fuck anybody who says anything about you.
Yeah.
A full fucking grown man, dude. Shut the fuck up in your mind. Like, look, it just goes to show we're all like this.
Oh yeah.
So shut the fuck up. Who gives a fuck what they say? And then definitely you don't say shit. I mean, you don't swim. That was the first time you swam, like whatever.
Yeah.
And then it was like, look, you got fucking 3 to 4 swims a week for the next 10 months. Go. And dude, that's what I did. I just did it. Showed up. All right, I need goggles. Okay, good. Got them. I need like a head thing. Good. Go. Got them. I need like swim shorts that have like a tie so that like they're not, and then I start gliding and it's like, okay. And then it's like YouTube before I go into the next one. Why am I dying? Because you're fucking using your legs way too much. Relax the legs. 80% on the arms. It's like, oh, you're cupping your hand the wrong way. It's like all this stuff. Every time you show up, it's a little bit different. You get just a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then boom, fucking you can knock out an Ironman. But I think the thing is though, what I get from all of that, doing that and doing these crazy things, and tell me what your thoughts are on this, is like, because people are like, why the fuck? Why?
Yeah, why do it? Yeah.
Literally, no one's asking me to do any of this shit. Like, there's not a single person.
Coming to you.
Yeah, like, hey, you really got to do this, man. You got to do this. So it's like, why are you pushing yourself through this stuff? And it's like, dude, like when I think back to the shit that I've accomplished and pushed myself through, like 100 miles in under 24, 130 is coming up, and this Ironman just in 1 year, just last year.
Yeah. You're doing all kinds of stuff.
Those things. Well, I mean, fuck, it doesn't matter. The accomplishment doesn't particularly matter. Just that it was difficult for me to do that, like, I'm like, dude, I can do anything. I can do anything. Like, that brings the confidence, and that, like, if there's a challenge in business, I can overcome it. It will be shitty, but I can overcome it. I just got to keep showing up, and I just got to keep putting it, especially because it's the thing that I love doing. It's not like I'm not telling people to do shit. Because I did hear once that success is basically, how'd it go? It's like success comes to people that are too stupid to quit.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Similar. I have like a similar mic. So just like you were mentioning there, it's like you start out the swim, like didn't go well the first time. Learn from it. Tried again. Probably didn't go. Went a little bit better, but still didn't go what you planned the next time, And you said you learned how to do goggles. You learned how to do things the right way. Like you became a pretty probably proficient swimmer because you were not afraid to fail the first time. You got in there, you were fearful, whatever, but it's fine. You did it. Like my motto for not only in like life kind of, but more in software development too on all my teams is like fail often to succeed sooner. Like it's fine. Like, oh, you fail? Like, who cares? Like a lot of development, this is going to software development, put it to fitness as well as like we want to get this, you want to build a website. So like, all right, what are your requirements? I'm like, all right, I'm going to make this perfect. I'm going to make this button do this perfect. I'm going to do all this test. I'm going to do this stuff. And then I bring it to you and you're like, that's not anything near what I wanted. I'm like, oh, well, I just spent 6 months on it. You got to have it. Like, no, that's not what I wanted. So turn that up and say like, fail. I'm like, do something. Do you want it? Nope. All right, okay, cool. So you want this? Nope. All right, okay, cool. So you fail a lot in like the first 2 weeks, and then it's something you really want. It's something you really wanted to do, and then all right, now we can build on that. Similar to what you're talking about.
How do you not get discouraged from all the failures? Because the failures still hurt. Because the people always say like fail often, which 1,000,000%. I mean, it's all about the reps.
Yeah.
I think that all of life is a number game.
Just keep to the rep.
Keep repping.
That's a shirt if I ever heard one.
Right, absolutely, no doubt. But the fail, the lesson is always real.
Yep.
And it always hurts. Mm-hmm. How do you keep moving forward?
Yeah, I think you have to, with the failure, there's kind of a caveat, like not caveat, but something you have to learn. I think that's the biggest thing is you can't just fail and like, I did my best. That was it. But you have to like, all right, why did I fail? Like what was the issue there? Why did I fail? And try to grow from there. Like if you're not failing to grow, then it's kind of worthless, I think, or it's not gonna be worth it to you. And it does suck. It does put you down. But I think, like you said, the more often you do hard things, the more you get callous to that. Like, oh, that's okay. Like I know I can do more. Or like, like you didn't know swimming, now you know swimming. Now, like you said, the next business thing you're doing, like, all right, I have no clue. Like, say you start a new, like, I kind of, this is me. I kind of like starting new things. Like, sometimes in my life, I'm like, man, I just want to start over my career and do something different. Because it'd be like, I'd fail so much, but then I'd learn so much in that process. I'd say, and because you've done all these hard things, you're like, oh, fuck, I can do it. But you want me to do rocket science? Like, yeah, sure. Like, I'll do it. You want to be a doctor? Yeah, I can do that. Like, you don't have your confidence goes through the roof because you're like, you can't make me fail enough to where I'll quit. Like, you can make me fail as much as you want, but I'm not quitting. Like, so
it's all about like reframing, because it sounds like you're reframing that like a fail is a lesson. Like you can't beat a person who reframes failure as lessons learned.
Exactly.
And gain. Yeah. So dude, we talked, this just brings this up because we were talking about this, but the book, The Gap and the Gain by a dude named Dan Sullivan, it's about that, man. It's about like, basically, I mean, in short, the concept is basically that people who are high achievers basically never find happiness because no matter what you achieve, you're always setting the next goal right away.
Exactly.
You're always like out there, like, man, and you can never see the past. Like you like if you ask a high achiever, like, like somebody who's really, really fucking getting after it, if they're not like, well, but not every high achiever is like this, but I think it's something crazy. In the book, I believe it references that the percentage of people that commit suicide are actually much more on the high achiever side than like the people who are failing. The ones who are succeeding are the ones who are actually killing themselves. They can never find it. Mm-hmm. They can never find it. So, and the idea is they're not reframing the past as like, they're not reframing the gap. Let me think. I'm saying this wrong. I'm definitely saying this wrong. Let me just tell you what it means first. I'm getting myself all mixed up, and then it should be good. So the idea is this. You're measuring yourself up to the gap. You are here. I want to be here. It's like wanting a new car.
Yeah.
I want this new fucking car. I want this. It's going to be so badass. It's going to make me super happy in life. Good to go. I want this new car. So I'm going to do all of this shit. I'm going to put myself through all this shit to get this new car. Finally, you get the new car. And there's this thing, and it's called like that. I'm going to say this wrong, so the term is wrong. I wish I could look it up right now.
Yeah.
But it's like hyperbolic something. I don't know. It's like hyperbolic.
I can imagine what you're talking about. But
adaptation. In any case, it's a neurochemistry change in your brain. It happens to everybody. Basically, you get the car, and the car becomes your new normal. You adapt to this thing. This is your new normal. Now, this thing that you thought was going to bring you all this happiness becomes your day to day. So like, and it's like quick. It's like a week. Takes a week.
Yeah.
Maybe less. Because you're just not going to be like running into every building, telling people to run out and see your car every day. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So like, that's just not going to happen.
It can only last so long.
Yeah. So like, any case, you set the new goal, and you're constantly. So the more you achieve, the less you achieve. You never get there, and then so that's the gap. The gain is basically paying attention to everything that you've achieved. Yeah. The idea is that like you've already achieved something you said would make you happy. So make sure that you regularly, with intention, think about those things because those things are massive.
You are happy. Like, be happy.
Yeah, 100%. So it's like accomplishing all of this stuff is just your way, sort of your way of finding confidence, finding happiness because you've achieved it. So you can go back and be like, remember who the fuck you are. Mm-hmm. It's like that way you can continue moving towards all of these things, but you don't need these things to be happy. Yeah. You've already done all these things that make you happy. You know, so once you continue to stack undeniable wins, small ones, undeniable win at a time, you start to become more and more, if you spend time on thinking about them, let's say, happy. So that's why I think I do all this crazy shit. And and I feel like that book, by the way, it's called The Gap and the Gain. I totally botched it there, but you should definitely listen to that book or read that book. Yeah. It's a killer book.
Yeah, that's a good. I definitely love that conversation. Right.
Shit. But the whole point of saying all that shit, reframing is super important. So you have to reframe like your losses, everything that you lose, everything that if you fail, you don't need it to win. Like for this this next thing for you to be happy, you won't need that thing to be happy. You're sort of attached to this thing that you're trying to accomplish, thinking that that's going to be the moment you become happy. And you have to get rid of that. You have to reframe the gap in the gain. That you have to be like, you know what I mean? It's reframing your mind around the next big accomplishment. Otherwise, you're always chasing happiness.
Oh yeah.
Always in the pursuit of, but never being fulfilled. And so it's the same thing with failure. It's like, if you can reframe all of the failures, you could lose everything and not lose a single thing.
Oh yeah, you could still keep going. Start over.
Because you can't attach yourself to these fucking accomplishments.
Exactly.
Take my name and wipe it fucking clean, except for my memories and my experiences and my talents that I've gotten from all the random shit that I do. No one can take that from me. That will stay with me. And so everything that I've lost is essentially doesn't matter, because I will rebuild all that shit based on my mindset, based on my spirit.
Sounds exciting to do that, doesn't it?
Don't you think?
To me, like, that sounds like one of the most, like, starting over, and like with a lot of things, but like if that was an aspect, like starting over and having to rebuild your reputation, rebuild even your body. I mean, that was what happened one time. I had ACL surgery, so it was, man, just totally deprecated, just no more muscle. Let's just start over. And it's like, some people would be like, I gotta do all that again. Like, I have to get back to that place again. I'm like, that's like the fun part. Like, to me, that's like the fun part, growing and building that self again. Like, to most people that sounds fun, I guess, more to us crazy people, if you want to call it, but that sounds fun to us to restart. Like, for me to restart in a new career, I'm like, that would be a lot of fun. To where some people would be like, I could never do that, or they're scared to death of do that. So I've seen it a lot. And like, even my career, like they're scared to death of the change. They're scared to death of having to start over. And so they hold so tight to this job or this career, and they'll do anything to keep it. And they'll, to the point of they're losing their happiness of where they're at, or like they hate their job, they hate what they're doing, and they just are fearful of everything all the time. And it's like, man, that's like, if you can let go of that and want to start over and be like you could actually gain so much from that, I think,
No, dude, 100%. Like, literally, that's what this fucking sign means.
I love that sign. Like, the think big, like it says it all, really. There's just simple things just say it all.
In
that
4
right
words,
there.
bro.
Yeah, think big, live better. There's nothing else to it. That's it right there.
That concept is why I call it big fitness, not because of the size of my muscles, because that would be the false advertising.
I wouldn't say that. It's pretty nice,
but that's what big fitness is all about. Like, the whole concept is that, like, dude, look, this whole thing is a mind game. This whole thing is a fucking mind game, dude. And exercises and working out is just one of many tools that you can use to continue to understand the architecture of your mind.
I would agree with that. Like, it's one of those, like you said, it's tool. Like, everything is mental. Like, it's a mind game. You're trying to, you're thinking about things at all times, trying to do things. Like you said, it's just one of the tools. Like, there's a bunch of tools out there to do that, but I think it's the best. It's one of the best tools I've found for myself. Some people might have other places, but for me, it's just the best go-to way of continually growing and winning, failing. I don't know. It's just.
So, dude, what's going on in your mind right now with this big grand opening that you're about to do for the new space?
Yeah, so I'm crazy excited about it. I guess it's kind of come to the fruition of me and Pete's mind. There's a really good picture of us. We were looking around at warehouses all over St. Louis, trying to figure some place out. And just me and Pete looking at it. There's a picture, like, Pete looking at it. You can see he's like scheming, I'm scheming, like trying to see like what this vision could be. And we kind of just sat down and, hey, this is kind of what we want to be. And then we kind of grew from there, going there. But the culmination of that, we're in the space now. We have like another gym, kind of like on our business side, a personal training gym. Wellness professionals there, physical therapists, massage therapists, chiropractor. Those. So just all came together, and now it's like our grand opening to show the community, like, hey, this is for you guys. This wasn't for us. Like, this was, we're trying to break those barriers of, like, kind of like what we're talking about. Those, as much as we know of these, we know how to be fit. We know how to do those hard things. We know what it takes. Bringing people into that fold and helping them understand that is what we really want to do as much as possible. We want to break down those barriers. So, the people are like, oh, I'm injured, I can't. Well, we got a physical therapist upstairs. Let's bring this in. So I can bring the community together to do that. It's just going to be exciting. I made it as much of a community event as I could. went around to went to Tower Grove area, went to Cherokee Street, went down to Central West End, asking vendors to come in, telling people about it, trying to just tell everybody about, hey, bring your kids, like bring your family, bring your dogs, bring your friends. Like I'm providing free drinks, so it's not, you can't do anything about that. But yeah, just going to be a fun time. Trying to get people to understand what community is for one thing. Like as soon as you can understand community, and then we're talking about fitness a little bit, get people talking about that aspect and how they can control their own fitness, I guess, in that way.
Dude, so, what's the date for everybody listening in? Date and time?
Yeah, so it's going to be March 2nd, Saturday. We're going to do a big community workout at 10 a.m. At the building. It's over there, kind of over by Barquet, over that way, 1530 South Kingshighway, Boulevard. Yeah, big community workout. Doing some like small workouts, some breath work afterwards, trying to like understand your breath, and then just from 11 to 2, just games. There's going to be a lot of vendors coming around, so you can kind of go check them out, check out the facility where we're doing tours, that kind of stuff, and then yeah, some food trucks going to be around. Some free drinks, games, door prizes. We're going to give away a few TVs and some gym equipment, some stuff like that. Get people involved. Get people.
Dude, we just like this is something that this is something that you mentioned we were talking about earlier, but I don't think we got into it. We talked about like the power of community.
Yeah.
But we don't really talk about why. What do you think? Like, what do you think it is about community, about being in a community of like-minded people that really drives the best out of people?
Yeah, there's a lot of different aspects for community. When you mentioned like-minded people and community, I think that was I saw that whenever I was whenever I went into the military and started, being with people that were like-minded. Hey, we have the same ideas. We're kind of going to, not so much, I guess, more same passion, I guess you could say, is more what it was. You can just accomplish so much. Like it's crazy whenever you took away I don't really want to do this. I don't really want to do this. Like college was like sort of there to that, playing sports in college, whatever. But like military really showed me if you can get a group of people that have the same passion for fitness, or just same passion for community. You can have passion just for community and run that. You can really accomplish anything. That's what's cool about it. So like getting people in and understanding you can break down those walls. You don't all have to like the same stuff. You don't all have to like do the same thing on the weekends. You don't have to do, but if you can find a central passion for anything, that's what community is to me, and doing that. I know going back to Peru kind of shows it a little bit of just like up in Peru, up in like the Amazon River, like when it's some villages where there's no electric, no anything. The community all revolves around a soccer field. Everybody loves soccer up there. It's like, and that was what they do every single night at 4:30 p.m. Play a game of soccer with the entire community. Like, if you have a soccer field, all the huts around the villages are around the soccer field. Everybody comes out, has dinner, and watching the soccer game, and it's just they're there for it. You couldn't pinpoint like what brought them all there to do it, but they're all just watching that soccer game. And from that, like the next day, if somebody needs a new house built, someone needs their farm, like the whole community brings together and goes and does that. They might not all be good at farming, but they're all good at watching soccer together, and they're all good at soccer. So like that brought them together. So now they can go do life together at the same thing. And that's what community is. That's what the gym is to us. Like, we got people from all walks of life coming to CrossFit Ready to Live, and it's really cool to see. As soon as they walk through the door, it all drops. Like whatever was going on, whatever like was going on in your brain, it all drops, and we all like just have a great time together. We'll talk about life, help each other out through life, help each other move, help each other with this, go out, celebrate people's, birthdays, celebrate people's like business adventures, help them do that. And it's like, I think that's what the community is, find a central passion, and then you can just conquer the world with people.
Yeah, dude, I always tell motherfuckers, I always say this, I say, dude, if you gave me 2 bad motherfuckers, dude.
Oh gosh, yeah.
If you gave me 2 bad motherfuckers as like teammates that we all would die for it, because a bad motherfucker is somebody who would die for their team.
100%.
There's never you never waver in your trust for somebody who shows their loyalty to you. That's a bad motherfucker. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
If you got somebody who you're like, man, I don't know if I feel like I can trust them because they seem to be nice when I'm around. Like that's not a bad motherfucker. I don't care how hard they work. If you are wavering in whether or not you can trust a person, they're not a bad motherfucker.
100%.
Like, so in my mind, if you gave me 2 bad motherfuckers I could rest my life on, dude, we would take over the world.
100%.
And how fucking rare is that to find?
Super rare.
Like if you could find two, man.
That's what it's crazy about this gym. Like, so one thing, Pete, like he's probably like that's
That bad motherfucker.
that's
You
bad
found one of them.
motherfucker. I found one of them. We could say it about each other, and that's you could say it whenever you could say that comfortably about your boy. It's like, yep, that's it.
That's
like,
killer.
Like we could go like we do all kinds of different adventures too. You know, not just the gym. Gyms are total passion, but you know, scheming all the time, doing stuff. Like we really think we could go into anything and conquer it. You know, but I'll say one thing about the gym, like that. It's as close as I could get to a larger group of those ride or die motherfuckers. Like, if I had to call, I would gladly call my gym family at Ready to Live, like those diehard motherfuckers, because like I could probably call any of them up if I'm in a bad spot. Like, you know, hey, bring the car and a shovel. Like, all right, cool, on the way. Like, ask no questions, that kind of thing. Like that's
killer.
Those are the kind of people that are there. It's like, oh, yep, you're my boy. Let's go. Let's do it. And it's like. And I would do the same for them. That's the key there. It's like you do the same for them. I know it's pretty morbid talking about the car and a shovel thing, but it's just
No,
hilarious.
dude, that's
it's
fucking
like
what's up.
like
That's real.
It's real. It's like
we're fucking burying bodies, dude.
Yeah. That's how ride or die they are. Like
that's killer though.
Like I know you're like you said, like you're just a good person. I know I can I'm fucking with you. Like that's what it is, you know.
That's the whole thing with like this year I'm going like with a theme of like better together.
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling such a lack of that. You know, it's like in just every aspect of life.
Oh God.
It just seems like everyone's kind of thinking, I don't know what they're thinking. They're so divided. So like
well, I think for themselves. I guess they think for themselves, but thinking like solo minded, I think, you know. Like
why do you think that is, man? Do you think there's something? I always have this thought that it's social media, like, you know, people not like getting out into public areas, public spaces as much.
I mean, I could say that's probably probably a big factor of it. I would think that's in my mind, you know, like you said, social media, you're in there, you get the feeling of like you're there. You get the feeling of, you know, like, oh, this is really cool. I'm a part of it, but you haven't really done anything to be a part of it. You're just kind of you're viewing through a portal. I think getting into folks. I mean, that's why when I think of community, that's when I think of like the Peru or going to Ethiopia or going to other. Like I'll say some of these countries where it's just like community is like they're there. Like they want to go to your house. They want you to come over. They want you to come in. They want you to talk and be there, like drinking over coffee, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's tough to pinpoint it really, I'd say. But like you can feel it's there. Of like, you know, like they're only sometimes people only think for themselves. Like, oh, I have to work on myself, or something. They'll say stuff like that. But you do have to do that. But like you could also work through that together, and it'd be a lot better. Like you know, I tell my guys in military guys all the time, like especially guys that get out, it's tough for them because like the military has that aspect entirely. Like the people you work with, the people you live with, are the people you go out with. You know, like we always state on a Friday night, like in the military, it's not like you're not trying to get together who's going out. You're asking people like, hey, where are we going? Like that's the only question. You know, like where are we going? When you get out, it's like. You try to get in the civilian world and like you ask, hey, you want to go out? Like, oh no, I got to do this. Or like, oh no, I'm too tired. Or no, I'm, you know, got this, that. And like, no, I'm only free every third Thursday with a blue moon, you know, that kind of thing. And it's like, it's hard to connect with people when you get back. And it's because it's really nichey. They have their own lifestyle, have their own house where they go to and get secluded all those times. You know, it's like right now I'm like living at the gym, and it's like, I feel so in part of the community because like, don't get away from it. Like I can't get away. Sometimes you need to get away every now and then, but like not getting away is kind of nice because you're just totally embedded in it. And it's, I think sometimes we're missing that, you know?
Yeah, dude. I think that's what it really is too, to build a community. If you build a community from scratch, it's like people don't really care until people know, let's see. I don't think people, how's it go? There's a cliche, not a cliche. There's, what's it called? A saying. It's like,
oxymoron.
They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
And the things that you care about, you spend attention on. Mm-hmm. It's like if you're spending a lot of attention on something, I can be like, that guy cares a lot about that thing.
Yeah.
And so if you are there all the time, like that's like that's the tell that you give a shit. I I can trust this guy. I can trust what he's about, what he's saying. That will be like there's merit behind the words.
Yeah.
So it's good that you're doing that. You got to do that. You know, it's like it's you can't build a community. That's the thing that I find so interesting. Like you can build a community online, I suppose, if you're just like constantly throwing up videos. But do you know this guy, who this guy is, what this guy is, where this guy is? That's why I'm like the real communities that have real strength. And don't get me wrong, there's real strength in online communities.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, people will damn go like burn a fucking mall down. For their online communities. I get it, but I'm saying that like those real fucking like communities that you go into, that you like, that you become a part of, and you really give a shit. You really resonate with these people, what they're doing, what they're trying to do, and you're like, fucking, I want to be a part of that fucking thing.
Yeah,
dude, there's something about that. It's not the same thing, but like online, dude, I've got this little text thread community. It's small, but it's like guys just getting after it, doing 100 push-ups. 100 push-ups, 100 pull-ups, 100 whatever. I call it the 100 a day group. And basically we just do 100 a day of shit. Awesome. So it's just like, it's just that. But basically what people will do is they'll throw in, man, like I fucked up today. It like was late and I did this, and everyone would be like, dude, you're good, hit it, whatever. But it's just the, oh, fuck it. And like, they're fucking, I'm going to do it. I didn't do it this morning. I'm going to make it happen. Then they knock it out. And it's because of that community, man. It's because of that fucking accountability in that group. It's like such a small, weird thing. That's online. If you have that in person, God damn.
That accountability thing you just nailed. Like that was, because he said, like, you can get that online. I mean, right now, me and my brother are training for 50K. It's like his first 50K. So same thing. Like we're doing like a mile a day challenge this year. It's like, hey, all right, did you get your mile in? Yeah, okay, I got it.
It's killer.
And it's good. But, we're doing it also with a guy from the gym named Blake. And he's there, but I have to see him every day. I'm like, fuck, I better get my mile in. Like, it's more like, I don't have to look my brother in the face and be like, fuck, I didn't do my mile. I have to look Blake in the face and be like, fuck, I didn't do my mile, so I better get my fucking mile in today. Like that, there's just that aspect of it. Like I think it definitely supplement, like the online thing, you can definitely use it. And I know a lot of like influencers, like virtual like fitness coaches, but they do a lot of stuff online. They're very well off. Like you have a big community there. If you talk to every single one of them, be like, I get that strength from my local community. Like they go to their local gym, the people they train there, they see every day. Like they get a lot of strength from that. And I think that's what people, I think, if they think that they can get it all online, I don't think you can. Like at least I haven't found the ability to do that yet. You have to be pretty strong-willed to do all that online and do it yourself. To do it all yourself, you have to be very strong-willed.
That's a great point, dude. I think that's a great point. I think online is good for people who already have that. Shit, I didn't realize the time Sean's out there. Oh, yes. Shit. In any case,
just keep talking.
Yeah. I didn't realize. I just get going, man. But I guess it already has been an hour. But I got like one more big question. But in any case, like, dude, to finish that point, it's like online training. I've always been not against online training. That's not the case because you can get a lot from online training. Mm-hmm. You can get a shit ton from online training. But the thing is online training is for the already strong-willed. If you're somebody who's like Mrs. Jones, online training, you don't really, especially if you're Mrs. Jones, like online training, online coaching, you still have to be a certain type of person who maybe you're just doing the thing that they're telling you to do because you don't want to let the person down, not yourself down. And that's the important thing, because like, just because you do something, you knock something out because you don't want to feel like you're letting somebody else down it's like, okay, you knocked the thing out, but it's not good that you're doing it for them and not doing it for you to some degree, right?
Exactly.
Accountability in my mind is just having a bunch of people around that force you to eat your own shit. I
like that a lot. That's
good. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you have a goal that you set. I'm not setting your goal. You set your goal.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. This is your goal. Perfect. If I help get you there, here's the plan. You agree on the plan. This makes sense. You're helping me. This is the goal you want. You set it. You really want it. Beautiful. Then this is what will be required to reach it. You willing to pay the price? The answer is yes. This is going to be hard. Expectation. good with the expectation? It's going to be hard. You're
Gotcha.
you're agreeing. Beautiful. So you've agreed with the expectation, and you've agreed that this is your goal and this is what you want. You're willing to pay the price. So all of that is set. Good to go. Now a week down the road, you don't make your commitment. You come to me with excuses, and I say it doesn't hurt me.
Yeah. It's just.
But like, you have to like own up to it in front of your community. Your community cares about you. They want you to do the thing that you want to get done. So it's like you're gonna have to eat your shit, and they're not gonna tell you that's cool that you didn't do it. You're the one who wants to do it. I didn't tell you to do this shit. And so like you have to eat that shit, and when you do, it sucks. And so like you are doing it in a good community. You're in what a good accountability program would be. It's just one where like you're around a bunch of people doing the shit that you want to do, and that you see them doing it because that's massive, and they see whether or not you're doing it.
Yeah.
They see whether or not you're doing it, and you can't hide it from them, and you don't want to hide it from when you don't do it. It's not about doing it 100% of the time. It's about when you're not doing it, they're not going to praise you for not doing it.
Exactly.
And they're going to see that. It's not going to be you really telling them as much as them like seeing. That's why the in-person is so, it's like where you can't hide. You can hide behind a screen.
Exactly.
You can show up and you can just say the things and insert the things that make the person on the other end of the screen happy.
Yeah.
Whatever. You can get the fucking, but when you say I'm going to show up like 3 days a week to a group of people, and you're there 1 day a week, they're gonna be, where the hell are you?
Exactly.
And
the showing up and like you just said it there perfectly. Like they're not gonna praise you for not showing up, and you don't want them to.
Yeah.
Like it's because they care about your goal, whatever goal you set. Like it's like they want you to succeed in that. So they're like, hey, where the fuck were you?
Yeah.
Where you been?
What's
and you're like, no, just show up. That's it.
That's it.
Like,
Just be here to fucking get it.
Oh, you show up, we'll get you here. Like that's it's really what we say about the CrossFit. It's like you just show up. The CrossFit takes all that stuff out of it. Like you don't have to worry about the workout. You don't have to do anything. Show up, we'll get you there. Like just show up, put out. Let's get there. I think it's what it is.
Dude, never underestimate the fucking power of fucking community, man.
Oh,
Jesus
100%.
Fucking Christ. Yeah. Dude, thank you for coming on the show. I got one more shot. I got one more question for you. One more question for you, and then we'll fucking send everybody out kind of where to find you, because I asked this to everybody. But thank you for coming on the show, man. You're a fucking dope dude.
Oh,
I'm so happy that we came across. We crossed each other's paths. I'm gonna be at the straight up.
Awesome.
I'm gonna be at the grand opening at a table. I already signed up for one of the tables, so that's gonna be badass. So I'll be there. That's gonna be good fun. And everybody who's listening, you should. And all of the information, by the way, for that will be down in the description.
Awesome.
For everybody who wants to like learn more and / sign up, go. Dude, this is the last question I ask, because I really would want to know. I'm interested to see what people would say if they had this and they found themselves in this situation. If you had the ear of every single person on the planet, you had the attention of every person, big, small, yellow, green, like, what would you say? What would be your message if you had all of their attention?
Golly, that's an interesting one to think about. You want to be profound. You want to be like short and sweet. See them, they'd hear it. But what would you say to everybody on the planet? I'm trying to think of what would make the most impact for, at least think about it in my life. And it's like I don't know. You don't want to be too simple, but like do hard things. I don't know.
Sometimes the most simple is the most profound.
Yeah. I don't know. Fall down. I don't know. If I had to fall down, or don't be afraid to fall down. Like I think more just fall down. Go fall down. Like, because then you find yourself. I think that fall down and find yourself probably would be like, cause like you can only make your own identity. Like you can like you said, I can't make your goal for you. Like I can't make that. I can push people to the gym. I can get them to work out. But if you don't make your own goal, or if you don't know your own identity of who you want to be, like you can't really do that. And I think the only way we find that is by falling down. Like just fall down.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a good point, dude. Fall down, man. Don't be afraid to fail. Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid to fall down.
That's what I wanted to say. Like, don't be afraid, but I want to say it in a cooler way, But like fall down kind of stems on the humility thing.
Fall
too.
down is
like,
killer.
Getting humility, and fall down.
Dude.
I'd say a lot of things.
That's badass, man.
I just came up with that, so that was pretty cool.
That's good. No, that's what I'm saying. No, dude, no. I mean, look, because you're totally right, man. It's like the goal in life is not to do the whole thing standing up.
Yeah, no,
that's detrimental.
100%.
You can't
find yourself. You don't find yourself there. I mean, when you fall down, you have to find it. You either get back up or you don't, or you crawl, or there's a lot of you do whatever. But like after you fall down, that's when you figure it out. You never figure it out before you fall down.
You're totally fucking right, man. Dude, fall down, dude. Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. No, good shit. Cool. Oh, I love it, dude. Find yourself. Okay. Well, thank you so much, man. That was good, dude. Hell yeah. So there you have it, guys. Fuck yeah. Thanks, Will.
Oh, dude, thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Where can they find you, my man? Where can they find you?
What are we talking about here? Like
social media, website?
Social media at Swoffish is my handle on Instagram. But, CrossFitReadyToLive.com. We'll be there. You
got a website for your coffee? We didn't really get into the coffee.
Yeah. I got postalcoffeeco.com. Yeah.
Let's show these folks.
That's pretty cool. That place, basically any of my proceeds go to veteran suicide prevention for Postal Coffee. Little play on the word postal there.
Hell yeah.
Mom and my grandma worked at the post office, but whole derogatory term of military people going postal, coming back. Like to kind of give it a new flip on the term, that kind of thing.
I love it, dude. Yeah. Dude,
you have to try that, dude. Let me know.
Me and my wife have been grinding beans lately. Okay. So yeah, we've been like just lately, maybe just I don't know the past 3 or 4 months. We've just been getting after it.
Nice.
We got a new coffee mug. Like not coffee mug, like carafe maker machine.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me the other day. Yeah,
and
I was stoked about that. Yeah, those would be good for that. Dude, check it out.
I was telling you about the carafe.
Yeah, you were. I'm
saying carafe. What is it called? Carafe. But I think it's funny to say carafe. Yeah. I know how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, you're getting pretty excited. Anytime you start talking about coffee, you get me excited. We could have a whole nother podcast on coffee for sure.
Straight up, man. Well, that's fucking dope, man. Thanks again for coming on the show.
Of course, thanks for
guys. All of the information we just talked about, that's going to be down in the description. So go check that shit out. Buy some coffee. Show up at this event, this opening.
Yeah,
and dude, William, thank you so much for being on the show, dude. It won't be the last time.
Yes, sir.
And always remember, think big, live better, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.